You're listening to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.
It is Wednesday, December 18th. If you have not opened the December issue of the Lutheran Witness...
Today is the day.
Today is the day because we're going to take a look at it. And if you haven't opened it, it's probably because you're in the busy hubbub of preparing for Christmas. And there is an article about preparation in the December issue. To help us take a look at the December issue, the very interim managing editor of the Lutheran Witness, Dr. Kevin Armbrust. Kevin, thanks so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
So how are you feeling about this interim gig as managing editor of the Lutheran Witness?
I'm so happy that it's coming to an end because I'm looking forward to our new managing editor, who's going to be fantastic. He's going to be such a blessing. So the Reverend Roy Askins is going to take over the reins after the new year begins. So I cannot wait.
It sounds like you had a good time managing being managing editor. There are some good things that came up. I know it's a lot of work. And
it's a lot of work, and it's
managing multiple things. But
it's a lot of fun. But he's going to be so much better than I am.
It's also his job.
It's going to be his job, but really, he's going to bring so much to the position. And I just look forward to our readers being blessed with all the things that he's going to bring to the magazine. So yeah, I've totally enjoyed it. I thank everyone for kind of put up with me in the interim position. But yeah, Pastor Askins is going to be such a blessing. I just can't wait.
Well, how exciting. And then hopefully in January, we'll get to have him. Well, he starts in January.
Yes.
So I guess you're going to help make that transition. You'll be nice and not just throw it all on his desk.
Yeah, we're...
Here you go. Have fun.
Just cornering him publicly here.
Yeah, I suppose I
to
should.
Help Pastor Askins get off to a nice start. You're welcome, Pastor Askins.
Yes.
You wouldn't do that.
No.
All right, so let's take a look at the December issue. Good stuff in this issue, always good stuff. But first of all, what was your favorite article to work on in this issue? What was the high point for this issue for you? Are you allowed to say that?
Well, I love them all.
Yeah, I love them all equally,
like my children.
Whoa!
I really. The Reverend Dr. John Vicker, who works here, he is such a wealth of information about the hymnody of the church, about the worship of the church, and all that kind of stuff. So when I had an idea to approach him to write, and he said yes, I was so excited because I knew whatever he gave us was just going to be, top notch, and it is. He did not disappoint at all. His article about the 6 myths about Christmas hymns is just phenomenal. We had one reader who already wrote it and said, as soon as I started reading it, I went and opened my hymnal to kind of follow along, right? Yes. And that's exactly the point. It's such a well-written article. And the reason it's so great is because it encourages us to dig into these treasures that we have that we call hymns. Mm-hmm. And it's really so well-written, and it's kind of devotional. It's kind of fun to just kind of sit down and read it, open your hymnal, and walk through it.
Mm-hmm. How does that article fit into the rest of the Christmas issue? I mean, the Christmas issue is obviously about, well, I guess it's the December issue.
Yeah.
It's going to be about Christmas, I would think.
We try to do Christmas every year in December.
It was a movable feast at one time, right?
Well, okay.
Or is that one of the myths? I'm sorry.
That's one of the myths about Christmas. The overall theme of the issue was how do the arts, the visual arts, hymns, all those kind of things, how the arts, even literary arts, the way we decorate, how does all that help the church to communicate Christ to the world? So how do the art aspect of Christmas really help the church proclaim the gospel, both within the walls of the church, but even also outside the church? And so we just wanted to spend some time in this article talking through that. When you walk into church, it's decorated a certain way during Advent. Why? When you put up your Christmas tree and you put certain decorations on it, why? When you sing these hymns, what is the point of all this? And the amazing thing is, like with everything the church does, it's to proclaim Christ. And so we just wanted to, in this article, kind of look at the different ways, I'm sorry, I keep saying ways over and over, the different ways that we use art to proclaim Christ.
We're okay with redundancy here.
It's fine. We did it
Again.
This is an issue right up my alley. I love all things art, liturgical art, hymns, obviously, and Chrismons.
Yeah.
You guys talk about Chrismons in this issue, which was something that we just talked about on the Lutheran Ladies Lounge, too, which was just a weird coincidence that happened.
Well, it is Christmas.
I mean, it is Christmas. Tell us about the Chrismon article.
Yeah, so it's kind of a fun article that helps us understand the history of Chrismons, but also understand kind of why we use Chrismons, that they are decorations, but they're decorations that have a very specific meaning behind each of the Chrismons that have been developed. And we even have some examples in the magazine you can look at. Mm-hmm. And so it's really just a helpful way to also think about how to decorate maybe your tree a little differently than you have in the past. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of just a neat exploration into something that maybe you've seen, but maybe you didn't always understand the history behind it and what exactly this is.
Mm-hmm. Why are these styrofoam ornaments on our Christmas tree at church? I mean, really, a lot of them are styrofoam.
Some of them, yes, do have a foam foundation, but they're ornate with all kinds of like gold and
sequins,
glittery and
glitter.
Yeah,
gold
I love
balls.
Glitter.
So this year we added, a lot of congregations have a 7 p.m. Wednesday midweek Advent service. If you have a small child, you know what a disaster that is by about 7:30. It's a great idea, but you just by 7:45, it's a train wreck for us. So our congregation added a 5:30 Advent for families with early bedtimes. and it's more like a family devotion than like evening prayer, but more like family devotion. And so last time we looked at the Chrismons on the tree in the sanctuary, and really looked. And I should have opened this earlier because this really would have been helpful. Would have been really helpful. So now I can go back to those same families tonight and share with them. There's a great article in the Lutheran Witness this month. Take a look at it. It digs into Chrismons, the signs and symbols worth studying. So dig into that. Okay, so we talked about 6 myths, and I thought that was interesting that you and Dr. Vicker, both doctors 1 and 2, both church musicians, and 3, both writers. So it makes sense that you had this idea, and then you went to him, and
that was just a shift in the 4th,
wasn't it though? Wasn't it though? The Ed Rioas piece.
Yes. Liturgical art.
On Adoremus.
Sorry, I'm just really excited over here.
Tell me about talking to Ed and this piece that he's speaking about in the article.
Well, he's someone in our midst that is really a gifted artist, and not only is he gifted in physically creating art, but the way he talks about art as an expression of the gospel is such a blessing and such an amazing thing for us to kind of learn from as we look at things and learn to interpret them as communication of the scriptural faith. So this was just an opportunity for him to kind of do that for us, and to really point out how artists paint and draw and create with intent, which is something I really appreciate, to kind of look at something and realize that there was a lot of intent that went into this. And then when I learned how to better interpret through writings like this or through other experiences, you see the intent to be the same intent as Christians have in all of our vocations to show the glory of God in Christ. And so here's just a wonderful article that walks us through a painting and kind of does that for us.
Doing things with intent, that's a good idea.
Should try that. We're just throwing everyone under the bus today. It's fine.
I wasn't looking at anyone in particular. I was talking about myself. I'm looking in the mirror. I do lots of things with intent. It's Wednesday. Can you tell we're a little off of our regular schedule?
I mean, we both worked from home the last 2 days. So.
Trying to prepare for the 12 days of Christmas as well. It's been a little chaotic. Any hints about what we can look forward to in 2020 with Lutheran Witness? I know we've got a new managing editor.
Yeah.
Any hints? What's the theme of the January issue?
Well, you'll have to wait and see.
I mean, it is Advent. I guess that's really appropriate.
To wait and see. We don't want to give it all away, but it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. So you'll have to wait and see it when it shows up on your doorstep.
So everyone's asking, are you ready for Christmas? But I think it's more appropriate to ask, are you ready for Epiphany? Don't you? Are you ready for Epiphany?
I can't wait for Epiphany.
I love Epiphany.
Epiphany's great.
Since we're, I'm just wondering, I was trying to see if there's some Epiphany theme in the January issue.
You think I'm going to give it away?
No, you're not going
to. He's really trying hard, though.
I'm not
going to give any hints about the January issue.
It just went off to the printer, though, so it is.
Ooh.
So it'll be ready.
It is ready to go.
Oh, boy.
So right around Epiphany, it should be hitting your mailboxes,
It should
right?
be. That's exactly right. Look forward to that.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for your work during the interim as well, and keeping Lutheran Witness nice and strong, and all the great articles that you've provided for us. Great reading. And now I'm going to go find a good cup of hot cocoa, homemade hot cocoa, and sit down and read the December issue cover to cover. I only got to read a little bit of it.
And we'll hope that the January issue helps you understand God's grace a little bit more.
That was a hint.
That was really subtle. Thank you, Kevin. Always great to chat with you. Thanks for being our guest on the Coffee Hour.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up tomorrow, we're going to visit with our friends from Lutheran Church Extension Fund, learn a little bit more about LCEF this time of year, and how investments are in, when investors make an investment in LCEF, how that makes a difference and how that serves so many ministries. You're listening to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.
Coffee Hour with Andy and Sarah is a production of KFUO. To support the Coffee Hour and KFUO Radio, visit KFUO.org. You can also text KFUO to 41444 or send an email to gifts@KFUO.org. And you can call us at 800-844-0524. KFUO. Christ for you, anytime, anywhere.